Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, DI.
My name is D.I. Lewis, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's combined Dharma Family and Nirvana Day service. We will begin the service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kuahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Reverend Kuahara will now chant the Shoshinge, which is on page 33 of the Purple Service Book.
Good morning, everyone. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for attending today's service. I know it's a busy Sunday, right? For some people. So today we are going to chant the Shoshinge, which is on page 33. So if you want to get more general information of this sutra chanting Shoshinge, there is an explanation on page 31 and 32. And then there is a designated music notes or maybe pitch. And so you can also refer to page 21. So there is like a bar, like a A, G, E, D, C. So this sutra chanting begins with pitch D, Re, and a little bit longer than Juseige and the Sambutsuge, our regular sutra chanting. Probably 12, 15 minutes sutra chanting. I hope you will make this sutra chanting like a meditation. So you are, of course, you are very welcome to join sutra chanting following those, romanized passage. or you can silently follow the English translation at the bottom of each page. So this is a sort of a summary of our school Jodo Shinshu teaching. And then actually this sutra chanting started among members since 15th century. So many Jodo Shinshu Buddhist followers, members, they chant morning, evening, this Shoshinge. So this is like for Jodo Shinshu Buddhist daily practice. And then, so after, once we reach page 48, so we will skip this Nembutsu and then Wasan hymn part. And then maybe let's jump to page 75. Once we reach page 45, let us jump to page 75. Okay. はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you. Namandavts. 無量寿如来ナモ不可思議光法蔵菩薩院に寺在世自在を仏性刀剣小仏浄土院国土人伝自然幕建立無常主将願長発慶右大愚勢五行死有死小寿十世妙正門実法不法無量無変更無下無体公園の少女寛義知恵公不断難事無所公超日学校精進説一切群上無交渉本願名号少女号死心心行願に上等学章大涅槃必死滅度願成就如来所以公出世唯説弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会王神如来如実言納発一年喜愛心不断煩悩特涅槃文上逆法再永入入手死入開一味摂取信仰上昇後意の水波無明暗頓内心臓死運無上不真実新人天非如に幸福無無しげ妙無暗逆心謙虚大狂気即を超絶語悪種一切全幕本部人門神如来偶勢願 仏言古代諸下者善人名踏んだりけみだ仏本願念仏邪見教満なく衆生信行十字人人南南中市南昔インド祭天子論下中華自治域市構想現代小構成小異妙如来本税置き釈迦如来両が千一種五名南天竺龍樹大寺出頭世質の財派有無権先絶大乗無情報召喚議事小安楽賢治難行六六信行異行指導楽億年弥陀仏本願次年即時入筆上唯の上昇如来語お法大偶税音天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下光如来永寿たら見真実光線の頂大誓願こういう本願力へこう異道群上昇一心記入苦毒大崩壊筆逆入大へ収集特使蓮華造世界即昇信如法生人有本の人間人図入生寺音寺を下本師鈍乱両天使上皇乱消防殺来三蔵ルシ十条教凡上専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見性願おげんねこゆたり少女死因唯心人枠前本部新人ポーツ承知生じ即涅槃必死無量光明道小修上回復家同社結晶道難所唯妙浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満特語感染症三不三神経音言増末放滅道非一生増悪地具税死安如外小妙化全道独妙仏生意公愛上三陽逆悪 公明明語権因念海ぬ本願第一回行者少女今後心教期一年相互用意大と逆三人即所発症死上楽原神公開一大教返帰安女官日祭先祖出身反戦人法家二道小弁流極重悪人有小物我薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大非無見上昇が本資源空明仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書後編集戦弱本願具悪性現来生じ臨伝下決地義上異生死即入弱上無意楽必知新人意の入愚教大事修士等上祭無変極上悪道族自主具道心有意過信し高僧説 Let's move to page 75. アマンダブアマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等聖祭道本菩提心往生安楽ナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダー
Please rise if you are able to follow along with the Gatha, Faith Alone, which is one of the handouts. Please remain standing for the reading of the golden chain after the gatha. I will now recite the Golden Chain 2 on page 15 of the Purple Book. Please feel free to follow along. Golden Chain 2. I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that and what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Join me, Gashu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated. We will now have a children's Dharma message by Reverend Kuahara.
Good morning, everyone. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. So it's a Super Bowl day. I'm so happy so many people are here today. ありがとうございます。Yeah, whenever we have a big event on Sundays, I'm kind of nervous. How many people come to the temple? So anyway, today is a Nirvana Day service. So Nirvana Day is it's on February 15th. Sort of a memorial service for his demise of Shakyamuni Buddha's demise, passing, and then or entering the nirvana. Speaking of Shakyamuni Buddha, at especially Jodo Shinshu temples, we have 3 services a year for Shakyamuni Buddha. So one is this Nirvana Day, but the other 2. Hanamatsuri, Hanamatsuri and Bodhi Day. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. So the other one is Bodhi Day in December, which is a celebration of Shakyamuni Buddha's attainment of enlightenment. With this attainment of Buddhahood, enlightenment, he became a Buddha. And then Hanamatsuri, this is a Japanese word. So we decorate a small shrine based on the legend of the story when Shakyamuni Buddha was born. So in April, many Japanese Buddhist traditions we celebrate in May. Some Theravada traditions they celebrate in May. So anyway, so this is a celebration of his birth. So then, what is nirvana? I think this is one of the some Buddhist words which became kind of popular, common among in English. And then, what is nirvana? So I'm going to talk a little bit about nirvana, although I don't have it yet. Nirvana, and then I need a frontier. Hi. The Kiki 行こうか。Kiki, can you help me? So please extinguish this candle light. Thank you. Okay. ありがとうございました。ヒロトcome. Yeah, same thing, yeah. It's gone. はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you, Hiroto. So, Kiki used this, and then Hiroto used this one to extinguish fire. Of course, without using those tools, we can use just one hand. So, yes. So anyway, so now I would say Kiki and then Hiroto, you got a nirvana. Congratulations. This is because this Indian term nirvana means to extinguish fire or flame. So those 2 Dharma school students, including myself, we got nirvana. And then, in Buddhism, more religiously, spiritually, and then what kind of a flame or fire we are talking about. So maybe kind of fierce flame of anger, hatred, or maybe fierce flame of greed, or fire of envy or jealousy or attachment. I think all of us have those fires within ourselves. And then there are many kinds. And then because of those flames, we get burned or we suffer. We suffer. And then due to those flames within ourselves, others get burned or they get trouble. And then as I'm talking, each of us carries more or less those fires, flames within ourselves. So Buddhism is not talking about flames, fires in other people, but we need to look into ourselves and then find what kind of fire, how big fire, how fierce fire we carry. And then since we suffer or get in trouble due to those flames, fires, we need to extinguish them. Right? And then once those flames within ourselves are extinguished, what happened? So once we no longer have flame of anger, once we no longer have flame of greed, flame of envy or attachment, then we no longer get burned or suffer. And then I'd say this is the idea of Buddhism. This is a goal, final destination of Buddhism, right? Extinguish those fires that give us the troubles, suffering. So maybe it is easy to extinguish candle light, especially with those tools. But how about extinguishing flames, fires within ourselves? Please think about that. So that's why Dharma school, every Sunday you come and then go to the Dharma school class. And then members and people come to the temple and then listen to the Buddha's guidance. So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. This is my Dharma message for Dharma school student today. So to conclude my Dharma message, please join me in Gassho. Put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend Kurahara, for your wonderful and insightful Dharma lessons today. Please rise if you are able to follow along with the Gatha, all things come and go. Please be seated. Now, we'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the following guests. If there are guests, please stand and wave, or sit and wave, or shout out. We have a Jay, Dave, is there Dave? All right. Sam, and Rebs. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. As is our tradition, we have the birthday lottery. Now, I see here that we missed last month. So double the money, right? Double your money. We will sing a rousing version of Happy Birthday after I announce the winners for January and February. The contestants are Sarah J., Reverend Kyo, Noel M., Ronald M., Paul N., and Sky N. Let's see, that's January. I almost opened February. So I can't be accused of rigging it because I know everyone in this list. And the winner, it's a beautiful knot here. No, it's not too easy. Being born isn't easy either. Paul N. And I'll get started on February. The contestants for February are Barbara H.M., Tommy L., Robin M., Judy N., Zora U., and Kiki T. Okay. Oh no, this is not fun. I'm guilty of rigging the vote. Tommy L., she's my daughter. Cool. Did you want to play Happy Birthday for us?
No, I think they're going to play it.
Oh, they're going to play Happy Birthday? Okay. We'll sing Happy Birthday together. We will now read the announcements that have been submitted. Online meditation and discussion. It's February the 21st, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Please sign up on the website. The BBT Dharma monthly online study session. The February session has been rescheduled to Thursday, March 7th at 6:30 p.m. The topic will be dying, parinirvana, and impermanence. The sign-up is also on the link at the website. Next Sunday, February 18th, Dharma Day High School service. The service will be held in person only and won't be live streamed. If you are able, please join us for that special service in person, which will be performed and directed by our high school students. The Jodo Shinshu Center, which is next door, parking lot will be available. Please arrive between 9 and 9:30. The gate usually closes around 9:30. The following Sunday, February 25th, no BBT Sunday service. The temple will be closed. Please join the BCA Eitaikyo service that will begin at 10 a.m. The live stream link will be announced when it is ready. The UC Berkeley Nikkei Student Union Day of Remembrance. Friday, February 16th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Stevens Lounge in the MLK building. sign up by 2/9. 2/9, we passed 2/9. And I'm not sure how to direct you beyond that, but maybe in your weekly email and post it in the social hall. There may be some information for that. Interfaith Vigil of Compassion and Solidarity, Wednesday, February 21st, 12 p.m. to 1:15 at the Wilma Chan Park in Oakland. Please see our weekly email for more invitation. Are there any other announcements that anyone would like to? Okay. Now the students will be dismissed to their classes. Would Dharma School students please go to the front, or shoko, and go to the classrooms. All others are invited to remain for the adult Dharma message. We will now have an adult Dharma talk by Reverend Kuwahara.
It's kind of interesting combination at the Buddhist temple. So we celebrated the birthday, although today is a Nirvana day, which is a memorial kind of, service for the Shakyamuni Buddha's passing, dying and, birth kind of one thing at the Buddhist temple. あ、間違えた。So before I start my Dharma message, please let me read this passage. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. How to listen to a Dharma message. I listen as if I'm listening for the first time. I listen as if the message is for myself alone. I listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 弔問の誇れ。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべし。と。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。はい。So it's a Nirvana Day service today. And then, thank you very much for joining the Shoshinge Sutra chanting for this service at the beginning. So, I kept my promise. I think the Sutra chanting was just 12 minutes. So not too long, not too short. 네, yeah, but I appreciate. So it's Jodo Shinshu has a long history, and then in that history, I think chanting, Shoshinge chanting is a very important a piece of our tradition. 네. Since 15th century, the time of Rennyo Shonin, the eighth spiritual leader of our school, Rennyo, and he started this practice tradition, kind of inviting members to join the Buddhist, practice sutras. By then, only clergy, Buddhist monks, priests, they are the ones who, officiate a service and conduct a sutra chanting. But he opened the door and they invited members to join. Hey, why don't you, chant with us? And that's how Jodo Shinshu became the nationwide big Buddhist organization. So I appreciate you joined this sutra chanting Shoshinge this morning. ありがとうございました。So today I have this quote from Shoshinge, which is from the Collected Works of Shinran, page 75. In your purple service book, that was on page 47. Yeah, it's the bottom of the 47 is this quote. So to begin my message, let me read this passage. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Swift entrance into the city of tranquility, the uncreated, is necessarily brought about by Shinjin. In Japanese, Sokunyu Jakujo Muirak Hichi Shinjin I no Nyu. Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu. So since this is a Nirvana Day service, I talked about Nirvana. What is Nirvana? Kind of extinction of fire and flame. So I invited Dharma school students to, do Nirvana, right? Extinguishing of fire, hoping they will remember what the Nirvana is by, actually experiencing, the extinguished fire. And then Buddhism. Nirvana Day, Shakyamuni Buddha passed away, and then he entered the Pali Nirvana, or enter the Nirvana, which means no more flame of greed, anger, stupidity, attachment, jealous. So those kind of defilements, right? So it's all kind of gone, extinguished, and then that's why we no longer suffer. So Buddhism is a teaching to figure out how to deal with our difficulties, challenges, sufferings in our everyday life. So Buddhism, that's how, by reducing or removing our challenges and difficulties, we can have a happier life. That is the kind of logic idea of happiness in Buddhism, right? So speaking of nirvana, right, so this is an Indian term. So Buddhism was founded by Shakyamuni Buddha in India, and then went into China, Korea, Japan, and then now came to Western countries, right? So in the process of expansion, spread of Buddhism, those Indian languages, Indian terms were translated into Chinese. And then this is one, actually nirvana was translated kind of different terms, Chinese terms, but this is one translation of nirvana in Chinese, Nehan Jakujo. So basically, the first two Chinese character, Nehan, is the translation of nirvana, the extinction. And basically, this is a transliteration. That is kind of translation based on the sound. So Chinese character basically doesn't have no meaning, these two Chinese characters. And then, but the second half, Jakujo, is more like the meaning of this nirvana. So both Chinese characters has a similar meaning, tranquility or calmness. Tranquility or calmness. So So today, at the beginning, before we started the service, we had a silent moment. Yeah, silent moment. And then, but what happened in your mind? I mean, I think Di, briefly mentioned, with this silent moment, we calm down our mind and then try to focus on Dharma message or this service. Yeah. And then today, because I had a little bit longer time of this silent moment because so quiet. So we had a nice, beautiful, silence today. So I intentionally extended this session a little bit longer than usual. Yeah. But even though our ears captured the sound, noise, right? Maybe some of you noticed the voice of Masa, and then your mind were kind of paid attention to his voice. Or maybe somebody opened the glass door going to the restroom, or somebody is going to the restroom, right? Or maybe your mind, oh, I'm getting hungry. Or maybe I need to go stop by at the Safeway, get the chips and then something for the game today, right? So although this is a silent moment to calm down our minds, but our mind always kind of scattered, here and there. And it's really hard to actualize true tranquility, calmness within our mind. So I'm going more focus on this tranquility, calmness part. Yeah. So the silent moment before we start the service, this ear kind of always open. And then in our everyday life, our eyes, captures a lot of information, right? And then our nose, we can, smell. And then tongue, when we eat, our tongue tells us, information. And then, this just a hand, but our body can feel something, right? So with those five senses, right, we humans receive information, right? And then this information is processed, each of us. But when we process those this kind of information, unfortunately, we have a lot of filters, right? So like filters of impatience, right? And then, or wicked desire, or maybe greed, or our narrow view, self-centeredness. Maybe all those information perceived our senses could be just neutral, no meaning. But as we process the information that we received, especially with those filters, then what happened? What do we get? Right? And because of our mind, our heart, especially with three poisons or defiled mind, and then it is really difficult to achieve tranquility. It is really difficult to get the true calmness within ourselves. So in other words, because of them, we always kind of get angry, stressful, or maybe more greedy, or having some defiled thought in our minds. So this is kind of another kind of description of flames or fires within ourselves. Because of those fires, then we have a kind of difficult result within ourselves. And then in Buddhism, that is the reality of samsara, or saha world. So maybe all those things happening around us could be just neutral. It's each of us how we process this information we received, and then we can have a positive, mindset or a negative mindset, or maybe difficulties or happiness. So Nirvana Day, it is said Shakyamuni Buddha passed away February 15th to some legend or records. Yeah. But when Shakyamuni Buddha passed away, died, it is called he entered the Pali Nirvana. Pali Nirvana. So Pali means great or true Nirvana. Yeah. Although he attained enlightenment, but at the age of 80, when he concluded his life, it is said he entered the Pali great Nirvana. And then, so why it is called Pali Nirvana when his life in this world ended, right? So maybe there are one idea of once completing a life in this world, and then kind of we can attain true Nirvana. So today, so Nirvana, extinction of a fire, flame. Yeah. And then I asked, Dharma school student to use those tools. And then also, I used my hand. Yeah. To extinguish a fire, of course, we can use a fire extinguisher and then firefighter. Yeah. Or another way to make fire extinguished is just, so this is a candle oil. Yeah. Once oil is run out, the fire will also kind of disappear. Yeah. So there are many different ways to extinguish the fire flame. And then I would say maybe Buddhism too, there are many different ways to extinguish or deal with our flames of fire within ourselves. So Tibetan Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and then Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, there are many different ways to extinguish or deal with flames of fire within ourselves. So this temple is affiliated to Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, which is a Japanese Pure Land Buddhism. Pure Land Buddhism. So Pure Land Buddhism is one way to extinguish or deal with those flames, fires. And so this is a kind of brief description, explanation of what Pure Land Buddhism is. It's a Buddhist path to attain nirvana in Buddha's land after ending life in this world in samsara. Yeah. So samsara is a transmigrating 6 realms. In 6 realms. And then once we finish life in one realm, and then attain another birth in different realm, and then another kind of life of difficulties, challenges start. And then once that life ends, then another one starts. So kind of endlessly, we kind of, birth and death, continue the difficult life. That is the idea of samsara. So that's why in Buddhism, so the goal of Buddhism is to kind of remove our difficulties, suffering. That is the goal of Buddhism. So liberation from the place, samsara, where it is difficult to achieve tranquility and then calmness. So that is, in a sense, the goal of Buddhism. And then why it is difficult. The difficulty of attaining or achieving tranquility or calmness in our heart. Maybe one, reason, cause is the reality of the environment. Even when, my mind is kind of clean, I could extinguish my fire, but there are many people around me, then bother me, give me a difficulties, right? Or vice versa, right? Even somebody attained nirvana, but if I'm a kind of defiled one, I have a very strong big fire or flame, maybe I give a trouble to that person. Yeah. So maybe one idea is Buddhism has a very critical view, or like a light view of the Eight Rightful Path. When we look at this environment, this world, it's really difficult to attain this kind of a tranquility or calmness. And then another thing is kind of honest or deep reflection on my own capacity or capability to achieve that tranquility or calmness by performing a practice. So that's why Pure Land Buddhism idea is Amida Buddha compassionately establish the realm of nirvana, right? Extinction of fire, tranquility, or calmness, knowing how difficult it is to achieve this kind of tranquility and calmness in samsara, right? So Buddha tries to take us from this difficult environment to a better location so that we can focus on, we can achieve the tranquility and then calmness. Yeah. So sometimes people say, oh, Pure Land Buddhism sounds like escapism or like escaping from the reality. But maybe, I would say the Pure Land Buddhism is a kind of more realistic teaching based upon the awareness of how difficult it is to achieve the kind of tranquility or calmness in this samsara, right? And then searching, wishing for attain birth in the better place to achieve the kind of tranquility and then calmness. And then Buddha's, compassion established the kind of place realm, so-called Buddha's land or Pure Land. And then we aspire to be there. They are Pure Land Buddhists. And then Amida Buddha prepared everything so that to welcome us. So that kind of Buddha's compassion, we respond, we accept the Buddha's compassion. That is so-called shinjin. So Buddha prepared everything. Hey, Kyo, come, right? And then, oh, thank you, Buddha. So this kind of a communication, Buddha's calling and then our response is the idea of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism or Pure Land Buddhism. And then based upon this idea, our founder Shinran Shonin said, swift enter into the city of tranquility, the uncreated. The uncreated means there is no kind of continuation of birth and death. Kind of once we attain birth in Buddha's land, and then land of tranquility, then there is no kind of transmigration, birth and death of a life of difficulties. It's necessarily brought about by shinjin. Just accepting, appreciating Buddha's compassion, Buddha's embrace. That's how we can achieve the tranquility and the calmness. So this is my Dharma message for the Nirvana Day service. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Well, I don't know how many of you watched the game today, but I'm sure watching the game make your mind not so calm, right? So excited, right? But it's okay, you are living your life in this samsara, so many kind of ups and downs. But at least you should listen to the Dharma and then try to, achieve tranquility or calmness with the Dharma or with Amida Buddha. So I would like to conclude my Dharma message reading this passage one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Swift entrance into the city of tranquility, the uncreated, is necessarily brought about by shinjin. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 じゃないか、僕か。すみません。Sorry, I think it's me だね。Okay, so now I would like to say thank you to those all those who have made today's service possible. Yeah. First, I'd like to say thank you to DI for being a wonderful chairperson. ありがとうございました。And then thank you the live streaming team for your help during today's live streaming service. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And then thank you, Emiko-san and the Sangha singers for a beautiful, wonderful gathas today. And then so today's gatha is, Emiko-san, for the first time to sing this song?
No, we sang it before.
Okay, but this is the Face Alone. And so this lyrics talks about, I think Shinran Shonin's personality, very humble personality. His kind of that's how Buddhism formed his personality or character. So this is a nice song. ありがとうございました。Anyway, thank you very much, Emiko-san and the Sangha singers for beautiful songs. ありがとうございました。 And then thank you, February Toban, for helping today's refreshments in the social hall. ね、ありがとうございます。And then, thank you everyone for being here, ね、in person and then virtually to listen to the Dharma. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. So this concludes today's service. Thank you very much for come here. And then next week is, although there is no online YouTube service, but the high school student will officiate the service. So if you're interested, please come and join us. ありがとうございます。Now one doubts.